Many on the left desperately want to honour the treaty. In practice, that means forcing a 19th century agreement onto a society that outgrew its confines many decades ago. Many of them openly demand that we honour the treaty forever. Can you imagine something more conservative than that? A demand for a stagnant society with an unchanging racial constitution. Why do people want this? White guilt, personal self-interest, toxic positivity. All of these factors play a role. It is quite the spectacle. I hate the whole treaty debate because everyone is wrong. Half the nation claims that Maori ceded sovereignty. That is a lie. They claim that the English text is the true treaty, when the vast majority of the signatories signed the Maori text. The other half wants to force modern New Zealand into the confines of an archaic agreement. They want to tear everything down, to squeeze it into an extremely outdated document. It is sheer madness. The treaty has been dishonoured for far too long to be thrusted onto New Zealand now. It should have been honoured from the outset, but it has been neglected for far too long to be forced on New Zealand now in some kind of guilt-motivated post hoc correction. That would only worsen the damage. It would create huge division, it would divide New Zealand by race, it would cripple government legitimacy. The advocates of extreme co-governance are enormously out of touch. They actually seem to think that New Zealand will embrace their proposals. Never. These activists have spent way too much time in far-left echo chambers. The average New Zealander has essentially zero tolerance for extreme co-governance and perceived race-based privileges. If you introduce a separate Maori parliament, an unelected treaty official above parliament, and a lower pension age for Maori, the ACT Party will win the next election with 60% of the vote. I guarantee it. You don't know the average New Zealander very well if you think they are going to tolerate this kind of nonsense. And what problems would this even solve? Maori face hideous inequalities, it is true. Disproportionate poverty, lower life expectancy, higher rates of incarceration. Co-governance serves only to give more power to Maori elites, politicians and iwi. These groups have been rapidly expanding their wealth and power over the last few decades, and the inequalities Maori face are still terrible. Little if any progress has been made. But the elites are richer than ever. There is class hierarchy within Maori society. Many of the poorest Maori are urbanised and have no connection to their iwi. And the idea that Maori leadership means better decisions for Maori is a lie. Just look at David Seymour, Winston Peters, and Shane Jones. It is a fallacy. We need to abandon identity politics. We need to focus on pushing for good policies, not race-based leadership. Like any society, Maori society has internal class hierarchy. Maori do not all have the same interests. Maori do not always serve other Maori. The focus should be on good policy, not race-based institutions. This identity politics is a distraction that plays into the hands of the right. If you want to address crippling inequality, the solution is pro-worker policy and anti-poverty policy. Historically, this has done great good. And it is politically viable because everyone can get behind it. The left needs to sort out its priorities. I do not want any power that we get to be wasted on lost causes that galvanise the masses against us. We need to correct course now.